Welcome back to History Around the World. Today, we're going to take you back to 1732, when one of our founding fathers was born.
I am John Dickinson. I was born in November 1732 to a wealthy Quaker family in Maryland. 6 years later, my family moved to an in-state in Delaware. At age 18, I followed my father, a judge in Delaware, into the study of law at Philadelphia Law Office. In 1753, I went overseas and spent 4 years studying in the London court system. While there, I heard leading minds of the day discussing enlightenment, philosophy, and individual rights. The experience brought me into a sharp focus of the relationship between history and politics. It would influence me for the rest of my life.
Now, John, what have you done for America?
Well, that's a good question, Jerry. I was a founding father of the United States of America, and I was known as the Perman of Revolution. I won fame in 1767 as the author of Letters from a Farmer in Pennsylvania to the inhabitants of the British colonies. This letter helped me turn public opinion against the Townshend Act, enacted by the British Parliament. I also helped draft the Articles of Confederation and craft in the U.S. Constitution. My legacy was honored through Dickinson's College and Penn State's Dickinson School of Law. Both.
Now, how did you work with the Declaration of Independence?
Well, after serving in various roles, including the battle during the Revolutionary War, I was elected to the Delaware legislature and was later elected governor. During the Second Continental Congress, there was a high tension among the delegates and intense debate over revolutionaries. But I refused to vote or sign the Declaration of Independence, saying the emerging nation was not ready for an open revolt against the most powerful empire on earth. In the end, I abstained from voting so that overall tally for independence would be uncommon. In 1779, after the Revolutionary War, in which I fought in various roles again, I served in the Continental Congress and was elected president of Delaware. 2 years later, I was elected the Pennsylvania president. In 1786, I chaired the Annapolis Convention, convened to address the people. Later in that year, I represented Delaware at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, illness kept me from seeing the document, and collegians put my name in the parliament.
Now, tell us more about the era disconnect.
Well, in the aftermath of the 7-Year Wars, the British government found itself in a deep debt and began looking for ways to generate revenue. The Parliament enacted the Stamp Act of 1765, which imposed a direct tax on Pacific products imported to the colonies. Predictably, the colonists met the tax with fierce opposition, claiming taxation without representation and organizing boycotts on British goods. I was a young, strong, mature voice which I've chosen to represent Pennsylvania at the Stamp Act Congress in 1765, where I drafted the Bodies Arm Act of the Revolution. Through the Parliament repealed the Stamp Act in 1766, and it ignored colonists protesting, and it passed the Townshend Act.
Now, John, would your life have been any different if you just agreed to the Declaration of Independence?
No, I don't think it would have been any different. I believe that all things happen for a reason. Afterlife with us today.
Do you want to share some of your afterlife with us today?
I would love to. I returned to Delaware, where I divided my time between my private life and a political duty. I served as president of Delaware's Constitutional Convention and was an informal advisor to President Thomas Jefferson. I died on February 14th, 1808, in my home in Wellington, Delaware. Wait until I go.
Thank you, John. We will now have a short tribute contributing the life of John Dickinson. Well, folks, that is the end of a show history around the world. I am your host, Jerry, signing off.